Good afternoon, YouTubers. Tsquare here with Tsquare Talks. I wanted to take a few minutes tonight to talk to you guys a little bit about how easy it is to grow. Now, the reason I'm doing this video is because a lot of people still have this worry that they're not going to be able to grow a garden. Maybe they don't think they can do it. Maybe they don't have the confidence. It doesn't take much. And I'm going to prove to you guys how easy it is right here, just by looking at this right here. So if you guys remember, all this area right here was all a chicken coop, all of it, the whole way around me. I'm trying to walk backwards without stepping on any plants. All this was all just a chicken coop. But if you remember, about a month before I rototilled all this up, I was throwing all the scrap food in here, all the scrap vegetables. Here, let's jump over real quick and I'll show you a clip of that. So as you can see here, this was just leftover produce from a produce stand, grocery store that gave me all the stuff that was day old or started looking a little rough. This is one of the things I do a lot of the times for my chickens. Whenever I go to the big city, I go in, I always talk to a couple of places that I am good friends with, and they'll give me buckets and boxes of this stuff. But just before we rototilled for a garden, we put 80 or 90 boxes of tomatoes in here. And I mean, you know, the seeds from these cucumbers, the seeds from these tomato plants, all that will get eaten and fertilized back out, or it'll drop in the ground and in the soil, and then the chickens miss it, and then this stuff grows. So that's why I got so many tomatoes coming up. And if Mother Nature can do this on its own, I guarantee you can do this. So you guys have got to give it a try and try to grow something. I mean, it's super easy. I mean, maybe you'll be making BLTs in your kitchen tonight. Scoop out a spoon of those seeds and go put it in the backyard somewhere in the dirt, and just put a little water on there each day and give it a try. You guys have got to try this. I can't say it enough to try to help you guys out, to try to instill courage in you and confidence. You guys need to do this. And I want to see the pictures. Join our Discord. The link is going to be in the bottom description below. It'll be good for 7 days. Join our Discord and post pictures of what you're doing. I want to see them. I want to know that I'm making a difference and helping people get through the upcoming storm, because it means the most to me. So with that being said, we'll move on with the rest of the video. Okay, so here's something that happened that a lot of people may or may not have noticed. If you remember, when I was planting, this right here was a tomato row, and you can see we got a lot of tomatoes coming up, all the nice tomato plants. However, then we had different vegetables growing all through here. This bed right here was supposed to be nothing but cucumbers. However, look at all the tomato plants that are coming up. These big tall ones like this with the yellow flowers right here, well, yeah, these are tomato plants, the tall ones. Tomato plants will grow like a bush, kind of like that right there. That's a tomato plant right there. Cucumber plants, they vine. They're the ones that are kind of climbing up. They're going to climb up the fence when that's done. However, what I want you guys to specifically take notice of is look at all the tomato plants. This row, not a lot of stuff grew in these two rows. I was testing something new, but the tomato plants grew really well. This row right here, this is my kale, and the kale is already ready to be harvested. This has only been for like probably 7 weeks, and I've already got kale coming up here. But see the tomato plant right there? Tomato plant's back there. Coming down to the next row, this was all onions. There was red onions, yellow onions, Charlottes, but look, these are all tomato plants that are coming up in here. Now the onions are still there. They're all there. How did all these tomato plants get in every row? This row I never planted, but tomato plants came up. This huge area right here was all corn on the cob. But look at all the tomatoes that came up. You can see all the tomato plants, all the low stuff in there, and it goes all the way through. All the way through there. But that's okay. It's not going to hurt my corn. My corn will overgrow the tomatoes. You can see the flowers coming up in there. Them will one day be tomatoes on those flowers. Once a bee pollinates it, they will turn to tomatoes. Over here, this was snap peas and beans. But look at all the tomato plants coming in here. Now, I know someone out there is going to be like, man, that's a lot of tomatoes. Here's the thing. How do you think all those tomato seeds got? Oh, man. Look at him. He's not supposed to be up there. But he sees me out here talking, so he wants to see what's going on. Now I know that one can jump. I'm going to have to clip his wings. But here's the thing that's going to happen. When you guys... He already jumped back down. So when you guys plant, it's so easy to grow stuff. All I did was threw probably like 80 cases of tomatoes in here for my chickens. And the chickens ate part of it. Some of the seeds that were in the tomatoes got spilled out. And literally the tomato seeds just sitting on the soil. Maybe a little dirt got kicked on there, and then bam. Once I started watering this, look at all the tomatoes that are coming up. There's tomatoes everywhere. Now, I can only move so many tomatoes around. I'm going to run out of room. And some I'm not even going to mess with. Like, I'm not going to risk damaging on this side my cucumber plants to have a chance at moving a tomato plant. So I'm just going to leave them in here. They're going to grow right side by side. They're going to keep climbing. And I'll have to reach in and pick my cucumbers and then pick out my tomatoes. Some areas, like these 2 rows over here that my experiment didn't work, I may transplant these tomatoes and plant something new in here. Having a garden is really awesome because it's so easy. You can dig up a plant and move it, give it plenty of dirt, water, sun, and it will grow. And then I can move stuff around and I can put another row of something else in here. It's not too late. Some of you guys, I just had a snowstorm. I know Kat from Illinois, I think, said that she had a snowstorm just this past week. I know a lot of people up in Maine had a snowstorm. New Hampshire, New York, Massachusetts, they all got hit with snow. A late freak snowstorm. Here's the thing. Anybody that started planting already will probably lose their crops from that snowstorm. A lot of people were waiting because they say don't plant generally until after Easter. That's a timing thing. If you plant before Easter and you get a snowstorm, you may have to replant, but it's not hard. You just rototill it up again and put new seeds in. You're out the seeds. But if you're buying your seeds in bulk the way we talk about, then, you know, it's not much money. I bought a huge amount of peas, snap peas, sugar snap peas seeds today, and another huge envelope of some zucchini. Green zucchini, dark green zucchini, and a couple of dog cookies. And it only cost me $2.50. And I'm talking a lot of seeds because I'm buying my seeds in bulk. They go by weight. It's like 50 cents an ounce. So 50 cents an ounce for the snap peas, something like $1.50 an ounce for the dark green zucchini. But so I wanted to say that because, look, if stuff's just coming up by accident from me just throwing vegetables back here so my chickens could eat them, and now my chickens are penned up, look at all the stuff, the tomatoes that are coming up. So it's something I wanted to point out because people are nervous about doing a garden. You have to get a garden going. I can't put enough emphasis on that. I mean, I don't care, in my opinion, if you're just sitting on grass like this. You know what? I'm tired of grass anyway. I'm not going to lie. I mean, what? My dog's run it over. My chickens are all penned up right now. And literally, look at this. All this was all grass. This was part of my lawn. This was never touched by chickens. All of this. And now I've got, I'm about ready to show you guys something. It's going to look bad. I know. For those of you guys that are like super neat freaks, There are some out there. That's not me. I have a bin of aluminum, and we had a freak storm. Look at it. You can see right here. I'm going to end up taking all of this area, and I'm going to turn it all into a zucchini bed so it looks like this. And then, on top of that, we're going to come over here. I've got a couple plants coming up. These are my pots. These are my extra things that I had to dig up and take them out of the walkway. They're looking a little rough right now because they should have already been planted somewhere, but I just haven't had anywhere to plant them yet. But this right here, this was going to be my compost bed. Look at this. Look how big this is. However, even over here, I threw a few different rows of just random stuff, and I said I'm not going to do much with it. I just want to see what will happen. And look, the actual squash took really nicely. But what I'm thinking about doing is digging up these, transplanting them, and then rototill all this, and then put a bunch of rows of nothing but green zucchini, and I want snap peas right here along this wall. I want the snap peas because then it will climb my fence, and then I'll be able to pick it from both sides of the fence. So super easy to do, guys. I mean, these leaves, a lot of people may have been saying, you know, man, what's up with when we were over here. I'm gonna take a walk over here real quick so I can show you something. I apologize, my yard ain't the cleanest right now. I do a lot of yard work, and I'm more about production. I'm not big on having it look the best, but see how the dark green offsets by what looks like mulch? That's not mulch. That's just mowed up leaves that I crushed up and then I threw in the beds. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And there is going to be some grass coming up through there. As you can see, if you look really close, it's okay. It's not big enough grass that's going to stop production. Every one of them flowers in there is going to turn to a zucchini. I'm going to be swimming in zucchini here in a couple months. You can do this too. It's super easy. All you got to do is get started. Be confident in yourself. Take an area. Don't buy any special dirt unless you want to spend the extra money. It does up your production. All these little tips will up your production, but upping your production is going to cost you money. Literally digging a hole, moving all the grass away from it, and planting some seeds is not going to cost you anything. And then come out here and water it every day, and you will fall in love with your production. And then on top of that, we're going to kind of come over here for a quick minute. On top of that, once this stuff starts coming up, I ask that you sign up for our Discord room. It's free to join. I'm going to put a link under this video. It will only be good for 7 days. You can join our Discord room absolutely free, no cost. There's a spot in there about prepping 101 for food. And you can literally go on and post me some of your pictures of your garden. I don't care if you're starting out and it's just a pile of dirt. I don't care. Post some pictures. Share. Build up confidence with each other. You know, these rooms that we set up, these forums on water preservation, food preservation, security, that type of stuff, all the prepping tips and tricks, that's for you guys. I mean, yes, I'm trying to grow the channel by you hitting that subscribe button, but a lot of this is for you. Tomorrow I plan on doing a bunch of work in here. I'm going to try to pull out some of the weeds. You can see there's some Johnson grass right in there, big pile of it. I'm going to pull that out. I might move some of these tomato plants, especially out of those 2 rows. That way I can get some more stuff in growing here. Probably going to end up pulling these tomato plants and move them so I can get some more stuff growing here. Look at that. Even in my walkway, I've got tomato plants coming up right there. I got a row of broccoli all in here. This is broccoli right there. Broccoli all through here. Got some spinach right down there at the very bottom. I'm going to have to come out and start plucking some of these spinaches for dinner one night. There's a few more spinaches on the sidelines. I'm going to plant something else over here. For some reason, there's something in the ground. The seeds haven't been taken really close to it. I don't know why. I retransplanted, I moved stuff over there, and everything seems to not make it in that corner. I don't know if the water don't reach. Look at the onions. These onions were all wild from just scraps. These 3 onions, I'm fixing to end up pulling my seeds out one of these days. Let's come over, we'll take a closer look. These right here, this is going to be onion seeds forming. One there, another one there. You can see how they form the ball, and then it starts opening up, and these onion seeds will all drop. Same over here. They're already fixing to start dropping. And this right here, these green things, you can eat that. You can put that on a baked potato. You can put that on a soup for decoration. That's like green onions. You know, Mother Nature really does want us to have food. I believe it was designed that way so that we wouldn't go hungry. But a lot of people are scared. And so people go to the grocery store. They help fuel the mania. And people lose confidence in what they can and can't do. You guys can do this. Leave me a comment. Let me know you're about ready to grow a garden. I think I'm going to pick some of this kale, make some zuppa toscana tonight or tomorrow. It feels good to not have to buy it. Chicken still relatively cheap right now. I'll take some of that kale, cook it up. Some potatoes, kale, chicken, some chili flakes, and some cream, some milk, some onion, and have some zuppa toscana. I use chicken instead of sausage, but some people use sausage. Either way, it tastes great. So with that being said, guys, you've got to get a garden growing and get started now. Time is ticking. It is of the essence. Use the money you save to maybe put away some extra food prep, rice, beans, that type of stuff. Keep growing. I'm going to keep expanding. Every week I'm going to keep growing stuff. So I will see you guys again on Tsquare Talk. Y'all have a great one. Thank you all for watching. And I will see you guys again on Tsquare Talk. Take care, everybody. Have a great night.